You guys ever wonder what it would be like to go out with a girl with resting witch face? Oh, come on, I was being tame! Hi, if you're new to the channel, welcome to this series where I tell you why it's a bad idea to date supernatural fictional women, because they may be hot, but they are also a danger to your health. Talk about witchful thinking, am I right? The way I'm going to do this video is by giving you a brief history of witches to begin with, as they exist in our world, followed by an interview with an actual witch herself, who is also my new curse doctor. She'll be super important in making sure that nobody hunts me down and making sure that all my body and organs stay where they belong. That said, a girl with magical powers and supernatural abilities is on every guy's bucket list. That's why anime has like a dozen witches at this point. Like Elena from Wandering Witch, Nico from Witch Watch, Roxy from Jobless Reincarnation, who's I don't know, witch adjacent, I guess. There's a witch that rides a PTRS-41 anti-tank rifle instead of a broomstick. God, that's so creative. All of them continuously reinventing the pointy hat-wearing, broomstick-wielding cat lover we've all come accustomed to. Another theory as to why humans like witches so much? It's probably because they are basically us. Same thoughts, same shape, same desires. I think the only difference being that witches are biologically more buoyant than humans, which I don't really know where they store the buoyancy. Though I have some ideas, booby buoys, but otherwise pretty much the same thing. With that, dating a witch shouldn't be that hard to accomplish, but the real trick, is maintaining that relationship through responsibility and self-control. Lest that forgotten anniversary give her the moral justification to turn you into a newt by morning, surviving off the steady diet of flies she gives you. Can I start making videos again?
Get back in your jar!
Yes, ma'am. But where did the stigma come from, and why are we kinda turned on by it now? Well, to answer that, we'll have to start from the origins of witch kind, before Genshin Impact and Little Witch Academia. Now, before I begin the history portion, I usually begin these by saying that I am not a solid researcher, I am just regurgitating information in the most antagonish way possible. If you want a better research witch video, go watch literally anything else. I'm only doing this because witches are hot. If I want one, I need to understand the history first. So without further ado, let's get into why dating a witch is probably, definitely, a bad idea. In human history, witches have been around since forever. Since ancient times, they have been defined as people who can wield supernatural powers, can shape forces to their will, and can look like anything. The thing about witches in ancient times was that they weren't seen as solely evil. Some of them were good, some of them were not good, and some of them were really not good. But for the most part, they were more of a chaotic neutral that in some cases kind of helped the heroes along with their journeys. Some of the more popular types of witches during this period were the Lamatsu, who the Mesopotamians believed were responsible for sickness and insomnia. I like to think that insomnia bit was more of a translation error. Oh no, a hot supernatural woman that's gonna keep me up at night? Oh well, twist my arm. In the Bible, there's a mention of a witch of Endor that summons the dead in order to prophesy to one King Saul's demise. And then you have the most famous ancient witch, Flamme. Wait, my bad, wrong one. Then you have Circe, who's probably the most famous ancient witch on account of her role in the Odyssey as a supernatural woman who turns the main character's crew into animals and livestock so that way she can eat them later. So, you know, neither here nor there. These were some of the more popular witch examples, but the thing with these is that they were all evil. And fake. Probably. In reality, the majority of those that practiced witchcraft and sorcery were more like herbalists and pharmacists that knew what plants did what in order to cure certain ailments like sore throats and rashes. These sorcerers and witches were also helpful during childbirth on account of their knowledge of medicine and spellcasting that would help ease the process a little. Pretty effective measures in a time before modern anesthetic for no other reason than because people thinked that it worked. And because of that, people were just allowing witches to do whatever they wanted. They could pray to their own gods, they can create their own spells, and kind of just do their own little thing for a while. Then came the medieval period, where newly Christianized Europe started to see witchcraft as a really bad thing. You see, when witches did magic or cast spells, they usually did so in reference to a pagan god, which was not only a big no-no for the Catholic Church, but also was proof of a wider list of crimes that they said witches were responsible for. Witches had a bad enough rep to begin with because the Bible had condemned them for being a bad thing. But as the Dark Ages occurred and war and disease and famine became more rampant, people were looking for a scapegoat, and not only turned to witches because of what was in the Bible, but because they turned to old ancient stories of witches that caused insomnia and disease. In essence, they took the stories of the ancient witches, the evil ones, the fictional ones, mind you, and plastered them over anything that so much as resembled a sorcerer. Even the good ones that helped with childbirth, no one was spared. Then things got worse for witches, as in 1486, a book was published called the Malleus Maleficarum that acted as an instruction manual for torturing and rooting out witches, as well as redefining them. Whereas a witch used to be a chaotic neutral person capable of using supernatural powers, it is now a Satanist that made a pact with a demon or evil entity to gain supernatural power to harm people. In short, the Maleficarum described them as being opposite of the ideal medieval mother. She does not make children, she eats them. She does not heal the sick, she makes people sick. This helped fuel rumors about witches, about them being super ugly and riding around on broomsticks and being harbingers of misfortune and bad luck. That's probably where the whole black cat unlucky thing got thrown in there too, which I will never forgive humanity for that. By all accounts, the Malleus Maleficarum should have died out like the fad that it was as soon as it was published. But unfortunately, it not only fueled people's scapegoat to explain why these bad things were happening all around them, but it was also helped along by the printing press that was invented 40 years earlier that helped create books on a wider scale. Because of that, every major city in Europe had a witch hunting and torture manual, complete with details on their fiendish behavior, like smooching Satan or using their urine as crocodile tears. I'm not kidding, that's actually a thing in the book. I can go on about this topic, but I'm mostly just painting a picture of how the witch's reputation looked at this time, which was pretty horrid to say the least. I didn't see witches get a good reputation again until Marie Laveau was a thing back in the 19th century. She was a woman famous for studying Native American spiritualism and herbs, kind of like the pharmaceutical witches of the pre-medieval era, and she was also famous for doing voodoo in New Orleans, kind of like Mama Odie from Princess and the Frog, only real. People came to really like her, and she was such a big impact on her community that they actually came to her for advice on financial issues and family disputes. But like I said, that was the last time witches had a good reputation. After that, things were pretty chill and pretty quiet up until they came back in pop culture when Wizard of Oz came out in 1939. Pretty huge honor for witches to be featured in Hollywood film, especially one of the first ones to be featured in color, even though they might have taken the Maleficarum approach to witches when they did the Wicked Witch of the West. But they also did make Glinda the Good, and she was more whimsical, I guess, as the ancient witches were supposed to be, so I guess that balances it out. Then, a little over a decade later, a man named Gerald Gartner founds the Wiccan religion in the 1950s, which if you didn't know is like a... Actually, I'm not really sure how to explain it either. The best way I can describe it is that it's sort of like a continuation of the old paganist beliefs of witchcraft, like back in the ancient days, but done in the modern era. So they still come together, they still collectively form their cults and covens, and they believe in paganist higher powers that essentially give them their power. I'm probably doing a really bad job explaining it, but I will not be cursed, because while the Wiccans do not have a Bible to follow, like a main text for Wiccan, what they do have are social norms, of which one of them is that they are not allowed to use magic to harm humans. So I could say whatever I want, and well, they could still curse me, but they shouldn't do it, because otherwise it ruins their chances of being reincarnated as a good witch. That said, while I don't fear the average Wiccan, I do fear the average Baba Yaga, so please have mercy on me. Fast forward to 1966, and a TV show comes out called Sally the Witch, which, to my knowledge, is not only the first anime to feature witches, but is also probably the first media to feature a witch as its main protagonist, and also the good person. You know, not that I'm asking for it, but I'm surprised that this hasn't been remade yet. I'm not really a big fan of the hairstyle, but I am a sucker for the eyes, because they remind me of Clannad. Somebody needs to redraw her in a modern style. I think it would look cute. The next big pop culture reference for witches would come in the form of Kiki's Delivery Service, made in 1990 by Studio Ghibli. And I don't have proof of this, but I am convinced that this must have pushed the West to start making witch material, because after that we ended up getting Wicked, written in 1995, we got Sabrina the Teenage Witch, that was made in 1996, if I remember, and Bewitched, that came out in 2005. Again, I don't have proof of this, but I do have a tinfoil cap and an active imagination, so that's good enough for me. Back to anime history. There are a lot of projects being made that feature witches, so I'm just going to name off some of the more popular ones. You had Familiar of Zero, that was written in 2004. Yamada and the Seven Witches would be written in 2012, which a friend of mine who claims to be a witch connoisseur says that they are not actual witches because they don't wear the hats in the show, which I think is complete BS. I'm also worried that Zmooshie might also agree with them, so I just wanted to spell this now. A witch is not a witch because they lack the article of clothing. They have magic. That is what makes them witches. So please, if there is anybody watching at this point in the video, I need you to reprimand him in the comments for me. Tell him that I am right and he is wrong. Please, I can't be the only one who thinks that witches don't need the hat. Little Witch Academia came out in 2013, which as far as I can tell was anime original and did not come from a manga originally, so that's pretty neat. Elena Wandering Witch would be written in 2016, further dividing me and my friend, arguing over who deserves her more. And then the most recent big anime I saw with witches was Witch Watch, that was written in 2021 and had its show come out, I want to say, this year. But that's just anime. As far as games go, I think the most popular witch-related game to come out in recent memory was Genshin Impact back in 2017, which just really goes to show you how far witches have come. I guess you could say those witches have some hex appeal. Zmooshie? I've never played the game before, but I do know of its impact in both pop culture and for witches, because, like I said, this really shows you how far they've come. Now, witches are super desirable as both terrifying rural laywomen and as mason jar collectibles that we seem to pray to and covet more than we do the church. But I think the most interesting thing that I learned about witches through my research is that they seem to have taken everything that has ever been told about them, and they stick with it, and it's only made them more popular. Those ancient supernatural stories of the playful sorceress that curses people on a whim, they still keep that. Those bad rumors about them flying on broomsticks and wearing pointy clothes, that's a part of their brand now. They even have a religion that has active members and followers to this day. That's even more than what you could say for the Harpy or the Minotaur.
Actually, bitch!
Witches may not have always had a good reputation in human history, but they are still here. And you want to know why? Because they're magic. Whimsical, kind of scary, and in some cases can be so damn cute. But still dangerous to your health. Don't date one. Despite my extensive research, there were some questions I wasn't able to answer about witches, but luckily I found myself a primary source that was able to help me with some of these. Zmooshie, thank you for coming onto the show. It means a lot to have a witch here. You know, surprisingly, it's a lot harder to find a witch that, like, won't curse me or maybe cough up blood or anything. So I very much appreciate having your presence. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm not gonna lie. First time you seeked me out, I may have had a curse on hand ready to go, but you know, you're doing good. No cursing thus far, but you know, just keep that in the back of your head. Keep that in mind.
One of the first things I wanted to ask was how much danger am I in? Like, if I were to offend you in any regard, I just want to know, like, how quickly I should cut this thing off.
I'd say like a solid like 5 out of 10, but you're good right now. Just you know, keep it safe, keep it tame.
Fellow humans, I've spoken among them. They were foolish enough to give me their weaknesses.
Otherwise, I'll do something that, you know, may affect you permanently.
Okay. Joke's on you. I like scars. What I usually do when I invite somebody onto the show is that I usually ask about their lore first. So I wanted to ask that about you. Where is it that you hail from? Because if I understand correctly, you are not from our physical plane.
Yeah. So I'm actually from. I'm from a little fantasy world. I don't actually know the name of the world because I've spent my entire life in the woods. My mother was a witch. So I'm in the family business, raised me out in the woods, and taught me magic, taught me curses, taught me necromancy, alchemy, you know, all and then all the normal things too. Don't worry, I know basic skills as well. I'm not completely useless outside of magic. But she eventually passed away, sadly. So now it is just me in my cabin in the woods, occasionally interacting with someone who comes out to see me, but for the most part, it's just me.
Are you still living in that world, or are you, like, taking up residence in the human world at this point? Just in a non-disclosed location?
I'm trying out some life here in your little human world. It's not bad thus far. There's definitely a lot less magic. Definitely a lot less going on. A lot less people that come out in the woods. No one buys potions anymore. I thought that coming here, maybe people would want my potions more because, you know, there's less magic. But for whatever reason, people just think that it's like a snake oil or something. But it's not. It works. My you know, potion of invisibility will indeed make you invisible.
Admittedly, I don't know a lot about the whole magic idea, because one of the things that I wanted to ask about is how does it work? Magic, like, is it something I can learn if I really train hard enough, or are you born with this sort of thing?
So it depends. There's you know, you got your different kind of witches in your world here. From, you know, you can either be born with it, you know, if your mother is a witch and you just so happen to be born right, then you could become a witch yourself. But as far as I know, with enough work, with enough dedication, with maybe a pact with a demonic entity here or there, you might be able to become a witch yourself. But it really just depends on, like, how far you're willing to go, you know. Sometimes you gotta blood, sweat, and tears. The blood part's a little bit important.
Okay. how much blood necessarily? Like, if I wanted to learn a spell, like, if I wanted to learn the levitating spell from Harry Potter, how much blood do I have to give for something like that?
I think that might run you to really, really unlock the magic potential for that. I'm thinking, maybe a full goat? That sounds about right. A full goat, maybe.
I need a full goat to levitate a feather off the desk. No,
I thought you were meaning more like levitating yourself. This is something you can't tell anyone. I'm not actually the biggest Harry Potter fan. Like at all. Unbelievable. I know.
That almost seems blasphemous.
I know, right? I am the witch who doesn't enjoy Harry Potter. Okay, my reasoning isn't actually that bad.
Wizards. They're wizards. That's what it is. They're not actual.
They
witches.
are wizards.
Yeah. They're entirely different. Totally. Go on.
Yeah, it's all fake. You know, they're just like posers. They're just faking. That's not how magic works. It doesn't work like that.
Really? Oh, that works so well with one of the other questions that I have here on this list. I was so curious. In all of Western or Eastern medium of witches, is there any of it that offends you, like to the nth degree, where you're just like, oh my, this is how humans view witches? This is how we're represented? Wow, you guys suck. Or just... and anything from like the Wizard of Oz, Wicked Witch to Harry Potter, I guess. Is there anything that's like abysmal that we've created?
I don't feel like you can really.
Wow.
I don't really think you can hate on the witches of the Wizard of Oz, just because it's classic, you know. It's just kind of like, even if, like, you know, we're not like always green-skinned like weirdos with warts and splashing water on us makes us melt. You know, it's an interesting idea. Granted,
does that actually happen?
In what? The Wizard of Oz?
No, I mean in real, like, for witches, if you get splashed with water, do you guys actually melt?
No, not at all. Not at all. That is a complete fabrication. I take many baths. I take many showers. Water does not scare me. I'm very cleanly. I have good hygiene. Water is not scary. I'm not a vampire. I can walk through water.
Okay. And what about the idea of the whole riding a broomstick? Because I feel like that's something we created. I don't know if witches actually do that, like out in the field.
You all may have created it, but I gotta say it's kind of nice just being able to pick out like a nice little broomstick, and then you just put a couple enchantments on it. You know, cast a few spells, and you know it's all good to go. And before you know it, flying broom, and then I can get around. It's a lot nicer than like having to spend all the time and energy trying to set up teleportation circles and trying to figure out the best places to set one up, because people will sometimes stumble upon them and they ruin them and they mess up the runes, and it's just more consistent to use a broom. So you all coming up with that was a good one. Good on you. Good on you.
You're welcome. Is there anything magic can't solve? Because it seems like there's a lot of things that you can do with it, like teleportation, flying, levitation. Is there a limit to it?
I think that with enough creativity, it can help with anything you're doing. So maybe not a direct solution, but you know, there's something that you can kind of figure out to help you with whatever you're trying to achieve. Like obviously, I can't just cast a spell and instantly I am a rich high member of society, but you know, could just polymorph, head into town, see what the humans are like, which I have done before, and I have to say I am a very big fan of movies. Movies are kind of cool. I like being able to go see those in your little theaters. People always seem to think it's a little bit weird that I'm there by myself, but you know, I still like them. I think it's pretty cool.
No,
but you know, there's always like something that you can do, because, I can't just cast a spell and then watch a movie, but what I can do is polymorph and head into town.
Are all witches sort of like mischievous, I guess? Like, do they all think the same way that you do in that regard, or would you say they're more of a ratio of any other emotion, like calm, sadistic, that sort of thing?
I would say that it's kind of just because, like I mentioned, theoretically anyone could become a witch. So there's a wide variety of witches. I feel like I might be a little bit more mischievous. I might be a little bit of a gremlin in comparison to some other witches. I, for one, am also not that old for a witch. I'm only in my 20s. Some witches live to be, hundreds of years old. Baba Yaga's still out there somewhere, I'm sure.
You met her?
Only once in passing. I say a long time ago. Long for me. Probably like not that long for her. She's a couple years back.
Oh man, I wish I could meet her someday. She seems like chill.
She's weird.
Chill
but weird.
I just know that she lives in like a house with chicken legs. So I want to meet.
Yeah.
I want to meet the person who thought that was an interesting idea.
I can't say I know how to replicate that kind of magic. I don't even know where to begin with that sort of thing. That's kind of just like, how do you even get to that point? How on your journey do you think to yourself, you know what? I think I want to give my house chicken legs and make it walk around. Like, the concept of a moving house, that's a good idea. Humans should get on that, by the way. I know that, like, you all are a little bit limited to your magic, but, your machinery and stuff, I'm sure you could come up with something. But, like, I don't know, just why chicken legs? Why wouldn't you just, like, I don't know, maybe try to make like a little like portal, or you could just teleport back home. Why do you need a moving house? I don't know. It's just weird. How do you get there?
Yeah, well, I think she wants it to move because she wants to avoid like very populated areas, so that moving house is sort of like a way of her keeping away from public eye. Chicken legs? You got me there, but like when you're as old as she is, you try things. Some things work better than others, I guess. If she was more modern, maybe it'd be like a house on a hoverboard or something. I don't know.
Very
rolling from place to place in Slavic Europe.
Do you think if she had put like her house on like a hoverboard or like a skateboard or anything, she could do like a kickflip on it?
Oh my god, no, now I'm just, no. I'm imagining, like one of those old folks that like try desperately to hold on to their 20s, just like, hey suckers, check this out.
You've never seen the oh so popular videos around on the internet of Baba Yaga pulling up in her house on a skateboard and just doing a full like cross, holding her board house to the side?
No, and I hope to God those don't exist. Sounds awful. Or actually, no, no, I take it back. That does sound kind of cool. If I were to see it at like an actual house do a kickflip, that might actually go pretty hard.
I can't think of
but just the idea of just people of that age trying to pretend to be the youth. There's a way to make it work, and there's a way to not make it work, and most of the time it does not work.
I wouldn't know. But it's different people do different things with their magic. That's just how it is. She likes what she likes. It works for her. Like we said, he's old. He's very, very old. Probably knows a thing or two more than I do. I starting to wonder why didn't you try to get Baba Yaga for your interview? I'm sure she could have answered more questions than I could have.
She is incredibly hard to get in touch with. Like, believe me, I've tried to get her for like for a specific video. You wouldn't want to date Baba Yaga, but for one, I don't speak Russian, so being able to get the word out that way would not have worked. and I don't have a large enough international network to be able to track her down. Like, I've got some boots on the ground in places like Europe trying to look up these different girls to interview, but for one, monster girls are dangerous, so we often lose a lot more agents than we gain. But hey, maybe one day in the future, when I have like an endless pool of resources, I can finally track her down. But in this case, no, it was just a lot easier to find someone a bit easier to track, I'll say. Like for you, I was able to find you on Twitch just by looking up which VTuber. And lo and behold, like, thank God I was able to find somebody who was in my time zone who is also a witch, because dealing with maybe a witch halfway across the world, that would have been tough. So, at the very least, I'm glad at how things worked out here.
Yeah, I do indeed stream on Twitch. Is that actually what you did? Did you just look up a witch VTuber? That's so funny.
That is 100% what I did. Yeah, I looked up witch VTuber, and then I saw Zmooshie, and I was like, all right, let's see what she's about. And I like the way that you talked. I saw a couple of videos on YouTube as well, because the way that I usually recruit is that I also go to their YouTube channel to leave a comment there, because Twitch, to my knowledge, doesn't have a comment section. Or it does, but if I did that, it would feel like I was more so advertising my YouTube channel versus trying to invite you onto an interview. But either way, yeah, I went onto your YouTube. I saw a couple of your videos on Mortuary Assistant, so I was like, yeah, all right, you should be fun to talk to. And lo and behold, I'm glad that you answered the red phone, so to speak, and now here we are.
Yeah, I don't upload all of my VODs to YouTube, but you know, I try to put a good number of them there, but it takes so long to get the stuff posted there, so I just kind of pick and choose. I pick and choose, and sometimes I'm lazy. I can be very lazy at times. It is definitely because I just casted too many spells one day and got tired. It's definitely not just because I slept in and forgot to do it before I got busy.
Wait a second, you're a witch, you're magic. Don't you have a spell to, like, improve your router, or, like, to better your Wi-Fi? Don't you have anything like that?
You would think that, but the gods of ISP, the internet service providers, their power is unmatched. As much as I try to increase the power of my router, of my magical router, don't even ask me how they are providing me with the internet, and it's not like coming from my magic power through my magical router, which is definitely a thing. Don't ask me how they have access to it. But yeah, they do, and they are all powerful.
Those frickin' assholes. I have had a problem with my PC for the longest time. Now you're telling me they are the reason behind it?
Yeah, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but they're basically the true deities of your world as internet service providers. It's a role they have ascended to. Yeah.
You're really opening my eyes here. Like, how much do witches actually control? Can they control the weather? Can they control, I guess, maybe mind control as well? Can you mind control world leaders? Something like that?
Mind control is a bit tricky, because, you know, that's powerful magic. The powerful magic's like, it kind of follows like almost a proximity type thing. You know, if you're on the other side of the world, I can't just snap my fingers and then, oop, there you go. You're mind controlled. But, like, you know, if you're like standing in front of me or like on a video call with me, it would be a lot easier.
Oh no, wait, hold on. Okay, follow-up question. Is there like a de-spell, maybe like something that negates magic, anything like that you know of, asking for a friend that may or may not be in danger?
I cannot confirm whether something like that exists, as that would go against my code as a witch. You know, if you figure out something like that, it might make my job, and by my job I mean my whimsical little silly spells that I cast, to be a little bit harder to do.
You're lying. Tell me what I can do. Tell me what I can use to defend myself.
You know, uh, you're gonna have to dig deep. You're gonna have to find some relic or some artifact, which I'm not sure how many of those your world has, but you can find something like that, or if you can find another witch that is maybe willing to cast some sort of spell, an enchantment on something that you can have, then maybe you'll be good.
I've tried that. I can't find anybody else besides you, and Baba Yaga's nowhere to be seen. I can't find anybody like that. You're all I got.
Well, then, if it comes to getting something to resist my magic, you might be a bit hard pressed, unless you make a really, really good deal. But I'm not thinking that's gonna happen. Sorry.
We'll worry about that bit later. So magic seems to be a bit of a tit for tat sort of thing. There seems to be some terms and conditions to it. Is that really how it works? Is it sort of like a Full Metal Alchemist law of equivalent exchange, like all magic comes with a price kind of thing?
I mean,
or can you just make something happen out of nowhere?
It kind of depends. There's like a magical energy everywhere, you know. There's always a little bit of a magical essence around, but you know, if I deplete all the magic in an area or I've run out of my own reserves, then I'm gonna be a bit hard pressed to really be able to do anything. That's why you know, you can't just cast willy-nilly. You gotta make choices here. You can't just change the weather every single day. That's some pretty powerful magic, you know? As much as I would like it to be very cold outside and always snowing just a little bit, I can't really do that.
Yeah. Well, there's a limit. Mana, I guess. Like, mana is what you use to produce magic, right? You can run out of that stuff, and then eventually you just, like, can't cast spells until you just rest up or eat or whatever to gain that back.
Oh yeah, big time. There have been many instances of me trying to learn a new spell here or there, and I might overdo it a little bit, and so I end up just running out and kind of out of commission for the day. It's kind of like working out, you know, how you just kind of you use like your muscles and like they get all cranky and they hurt and you can't really move around, and so you just lay down somewhere and just exist. It's like that. So like if I go to cast too much magic, so I'm just gonna lay on the ground for the rest of the day.
No, deadass, that is a really good comparison. No, I like that. That's a pretty easy way to understand it. It also gave me a weakness. I just gotta like run you out of your magic first, and then I should. So I don't know how I can make that happen, but I'll figure it out at some point.
Just a lot of mirrors. Just a lot of mirrors. Miss my target enough, and there you go. I'm out of magic. It might need to be a couple hundred, maybe even 1,000, but you know, you'll get there eventually.
What's the best way to restore mana? Is it like sleep, eating, anything like that? Does it just kind of naturally build up no matter what you're doing?
Sleep, eating, both of those. Also, you know, staying hydrated. Staying hydrated is good. If you're a dehydrated witch, you're not going to be able. Your body isn't going to be replenishing that magic that you have. But also, potions, alchemy. There's ways you can make little mana potions, you know, and they'll get yourself ticking back up. I forgot some on my desk over here. But you know, couple things you can do, but mainly it's just staying healthy and eating and drinking plenty of water. So that's my message to everyone out there. If you want to become a witch, drink plenty of water and eat good food. Have a healthy diet.
Nah, screw that. I'm a drink my Sunny D and eat my bag of Lay's chips. That's where the real magic's at.
It's a magic of its own kind. A different kind of magic. Oh, God.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, I'm gonna check my camera to make sure everything is working, in case it stopped midway.
I may be, you know, spooky witch, but my God, I am terrified of the dark. I am very scared of the dark. My bedroom is like sort of like a little like side room. So the light switch is next to the door, and my bed is on the other side of the room. If I have watched a horror movie, I have to. I can't believe I'm saying this willingly. No one forced this information out of me. I have to turn off the light, and then I run and I jump on my bed as fast as I can because, yeah, I'm 25 by the way.
24.
I am
24. going on 25, but
yeah, I may like horror, but it doesn't mean I handle it well, because I don't handle it well. I cry and I scream and so on and so forth. I mean, you said you watched part of my mortuary assistant video. I don't know if you saw certain parts of it, but there are parts of that VOD where I am sobbing.
I see you like screaming your head off, but that nothing that leads me to believe that you're crying in real life. It doesn't.
Yeah. There are several times where I'm playing through a horror game and I will just cry. Alien Isolation, that one got me bad. Cried a lot while I was playing through that one.
Yeah, never played it, but that happens to me a lot, especially because ghosts are actually my number one fear. It's never serial killers or anything like that, because my thought process is always like, can't I just shoot them? But when it comes to ghosts, you can't fight that. There's no like physical means that you can use to get rid of them. Like no vacuum cleaner, no exorcist crucifix. Like if they want to possess you, they can. And I mean, granted, I don't think that actually is a thing that happens, but it's a game of Russian roulette, and that is not a gun that I'm going to pick up and hold to my head. I am not going to be. I'm not me. You're not possessing me. But I guess back in the day when Sci-Fi Channel was really huge on TV, I watched a movie where a ghost literally tore a man to shreds with bed sheets. To this day, I have no idea what that movie is called, but that scared the hell out of like little 4-year-old me. So since then, I've cried, like I've teared up when watching stuff like Ghost Hunters or other paranormal entities. But to this day, when it comes to demon movies like Conjuring or Possession, I'm just like, all right, hold it back. Wipe away the wetness. It can't get you.
I'd say the thing that gets me the worst is like, very ironic considering which is like folk horror type stuff where it's like unknowable entity that has been a part of your world for like hundreds of years and blah blah blah, stuff like that. Ooh, ugh, ugh. Or it's just like there's nothing, because like it's the same thing where like your thought process of like there's nothing you can do about it, like you're just like game over, like you're fucked. And it's like that, but it's just you can like stare it down, and it's like something with like a physical body. I'm trying to think of the name. It's
physical body. I mean, folklore of your choice, I guess. Like every culture has something like that since the dawn of time. I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is like the Wendigo from old Native American lore.
Yeah, Wendigo.
Which is like a culmination of all the things that Native Americans were afraid of. Which is actually why it's so cool, and why Wendigoon, one of the YouTubers, he's one of my favorites as well. But yeah, he explained that one to a degree where it's just like, yeah, no, this thing is pretty terrifying, but at the same time, it's got a physical body, and where there's a physical body, I can maybe do something about that.
Yeah, I'm just I'm too scared when it comes to something that is that there you go. That's how you take down the witch. You just gotta scare me good enough,
yes!
And I'll curl into a ball.
My ploy worked. I worked down your barriers, and now I know your greatest weakness is folklore and Lovecraftian horror.
Yeah, you just gotta scare me good enough, and I'll just curl up into a ball, cry, and await my death.
Oh no! I don't want you to cry. I just want to scare you. That's all. I just don't want you to curse me.
You're not gonna be
Believe
able to.
Believe me, I have a moral compass and principles.
Do you?
I mean, I tried to. We'll see how the rest of this interview goes. But by the way, how much of that, like, do you actually want me to? Can I use any of that? Because like some of those stories where you're talking about the dark and stuff, I thought that was really funny, and I think that people would like to see something like that. But I don't.
Oh,
I don't
absolutely.
Put it in if you don't want me to. All right.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Use any of that you'd like.
How often do you curse people?
Only if provoked. You know, so it depends on the situation. If someone comes out hunting for a witch, then they're probably gonna catch a curse if someone is maybe being a little bit harmful to my woods, and maybe catch a curse. If they directly insult or harm me, they might catch a curse. There's different varieties.
Yeah. Is it usually? I was just wondering. Is it like something witches try to avoid because it's sort of like a recoil, I guess, where if you curse somebody, there's something that goes back at you, or maybe a self-sacrifice to make it happen. Or they just use common as usual spells.
It's just sort of the same thing as like curses are powerful because they stick with someone. If I like light your socks on fire, sure, that's gonna suck and you're gonna burn your feet, but like at the end of the day, it's still just a burn. A curse sticks with you. A curse you have to break. A curse you have to either make a deal or find some other way to break it. They're very powerful.
All right, well, I'll try not to mess with those to the best of my ability. But there are maybe some cases where I'd maybe accidentally fall into one, given my line of work, interviewing different mythological creatures that would want to try to kill me. What are some ways to dispel them, if you have any information like that? I feel like I asked this question earlier and got nothing back, but maybe you trust me now to like reveal one way of doing that.
To get rid of a curse, you're either going to have to find someone who is powerful enough in magic to get rid of it themselves for you, or you're gonna have to make a deal with the witch. It's kind of up in the air depending on what the curse is. What'd you do to make the witch mad? Are they gonna like attack you on sight? It's just, it depends. And if depending on the curse and the power, if the witch is dead and gone, then the curse is probably gonna go away.
Okay. No, that's pretty good insight. Hypothetically,
are you plotting how to kill me now?
No. That's actually I'm plotting. I'm plotting something later. Something for later. Don't worry. This has nothing to do with killing you. Promise. I've only just met you. I don't want to murderalize you yet. You haven't given me any reason to do so. For now, at least.
It seems like you're taking on the aggressive position now. I'm just on the back foot. You've figured out my fearful weakness, and now this is just me playing a defensive game.
Yeah, no, I'm coming for the kill. You didn't know it's all mind games. Say witches exist in our world, or maybe came out of hiding, because I guess that they do exist. They're just in hiding. Where would they all live? Where do you think they would all go? Personally, I think that they'd probably shack up anywhere in urban. That's the word for it. Urban areas, cities. They'd probably just feel right at home. I don't know how many of them are recluses and like try to hide, but
from what I would think, I'd think it'd be a little bit of in between. Some witches would be like me and kind of just camp out in the woods, find a nice little secluded spot, plant down, and then just sort of hang out there. I'm mainly still just here because this is the type of place I was raised. But who knows? Maybe one day I'll venture into a city and shack up there somewhere. But a lot of witches, I imagine, could fit in with society fairly well. Because besides the cat ears, I fit in pretty normally. It's just the magic, so you can hide.
Yeah, you said you could cast a spell on yourself to turn yourself into a cat. I imagine you could do something to hide the ears. I mean, it also depends on where you are. Like, I imagine if you just walk around an anime convention, no one's gonna bat an eye. You'll be fine. You can just walk around the door. Dare I say, you might actually attract more attention that way, so that might be more of a danger for you. But
that's a hot zone, a hotbed. You go there, and then there's just too much attention, attract too many people at once, and then you gotta flee.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a problem for magic. Just like teleport out of there. Oh wait, yeah, no, you can't really do that with witnesses though. Or no, you know what? No, this would be a world where magic is commonplace. And I'll be honest with you, hot take. I don't think that society would really care all that much if like witches suddenly started existing. I think they're just the same with many a monster girl. They're just so included in our society already through mobile games and stuff that it's just people would be desensitized to it. So even if you did just like show up and use magic at a convention, I don't think people would really they'd be interested, but not to the point where it's like, call the military, we gotta burn this witch at the stake.
I feel like it'd be like it'd be a very big, sort of big thing at first, and then like 5 minutes later, someone forgets about it. Because the world, the internet, whatever, very, very short attention span. The big thing happens, and then 5 minutes later, everyone's talking about something else. I could walk into a said anime convention and perform a ritual to, put on the greatest illusion show ever to make just awe people and charm them and whatnot. And then someone would record it and put it online, and people think it's really cool for all of 30 minutes, and then everyone would forget about it.
You know what I'd really feel bad for if witches existed in our society? The magicians, like David Copperfield and all them. You would put them out of business if you just suddenly started existing. All the tricks,
maybe
all of a sudden are just like irrelevant now, because now we have a witch that can literally just make people float without the need of wires or anything.
Or maybe it'd have like the inverse effect of where people would be like, oh my god, sure, this person can use magic because like they were born that way or learned, but the people who don't have the option to do magic, now that's real skill. Whereas like,
I feel like you could turn that around again. Like you could kind of invert the invert, saying like, well, hey, David Copperfield, he studied magic from the very beginning. How do I know he wasn't like a witch to begin with?
Fair. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about it like that. It's a very good point. Maybe they are like witches or wizards in hiding, and we just haven't known it. Maybe like every now and again they let someone catch on to their tricks, so that way it's like a see, look, it's not actually magic. Someone caught me. I'm definitely not a witch/wizard. Dangle the carrot in front of people.
That's a weird thought. Like, how many people would actually be put out of a job because of witches being a thing? Like, you could just use magic to solve a lot of stuff. So I imagine maybe a lot of what is it? Is it white collar or blue collar, which is like the physical construction work? I don't know how much magic can finish. Yeah, blue collar. I don't know how much magic can complete in that regard before somebody runs out of mana, but I feel like that could do a lot more than, like, one person with magic can do a lot more than, say, 10 construction guys.
Yeah, maybe, but they're still gonna pay you the same. So maybe all the witches form a giant union, and then it's like, oh well, maybe put some people out of a job, but maybe better worker representation.
The one union you wouldn't want to piss off because they can actually like do shit to you.
Perhaps you might even call it a coven. Because
All right, interview's over. Thanks for coming. Bye. This has been great. It's been fun up until that point. I very much appreciated your company. But guess we found one thing magic can't solve, and that is horrible jokes.
I'm cursed with the unfunny juice. Drank too much of it.
Where would be the place you wouldn't want to go if you were a witch? Can't really. Everything seems pretty witch accessible, and I can't think of anything where it's like cold temperatures or warm temperatures would suck for you guys.
Well,
maybe places that would persecute you, but I also can't imagine there'd be a lot of places that do that anymore. 200 years ago, maybe, but
I feel like there would be a lot of, maybe certain religious things who would still frown on types of black magic, witchery type things. You never know. You maybe just play it safe, stay away from religious houses and whatnot.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
maybe the Catholic Church may have done all the persecution of witches like 300 plus years ago, but that doesn't mean they're not going to start like again once they learn that the witches are back with a
vengeance. You didn't kill us all.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So yeah, all right, there you go. Maybe don't move to like Vatican City or anything like that. Just be on the safe side. Or do go there. It'd be the last place that they'd expect.
Hide right under their nose. I'll become best buds with the Pope. And become pen pals with him. No one will be able to persecute me then, because I'm best buds with him.
What if somebody claims mind control? What then?
Ooh, then it's just then I'm gonna have to mind control that person, so they won't like claim it anymore. But then someone else is gonna claim mind control on that person, so then I have to mind control another person, and then it's just like, when you get caught in a cycle of lies, and then it just like spirals. It's gonna be like that until I've just had to mind control as many people as I can to my limit.
That is a sitcom joke if I've ever heard one, by the way. Just like, Zmooshie, did you mind control the Pope? Who else but Zmooshie?
You got me.
And then we laugh, the screen freeze frames, and then we go get ice cream or something.
Yeah, do a little jump freeze frame in the air, the sunset in the background.
Oh god, lifetime imprisonment, yeah! I can't imagine mind controlling the Pope has any sort of easy sentence. You'll be put away for a while.
Something tells me the whole burned at the stake thing might become a little bit more relevant if that was to happen.
No. The thing that we'd probably do first is we'd try to see if you float. That's the thing, yeah. Do witches float? I imagine they do. Or did they sink or float? Because I think the thing was if you threw a witch in the water, if they sank, they're a witch. If they float, if they float, they're a witch. If they sink, they're not a witch.
Witches might have a little bit of floaty properties. I'm not going to give you the definite answer on that for my own safety, but and the safety of all other witches. But they might be a little bit more buoyant than your average person. That's the way I'll put it.
So that does work.
I'm not confirming nor denying. I am simply saying maybe they might be a little bit more buoyant.
So that, those medieval guys back in the day knew exactly what they were doing. Those experts.
Oh yeah, they were. They really had their witch knowledge down to a T. That was back in the real dangerous days.
Back in the old days where we played harpsichord in our room and burned heretics with our friends. That bygone era.
The golden age. I remember back in my day. Back when I used to walk to school uphill both ways, and it was always snowing.
Yeah, I guess in the modern day, I can't imagine too many people coming after you either. Like, even from the religious types, it just doesn't. The church doesn't really hold the same power as it would have back in the day. Unless you do something to really piss them off, like mind control the Pope, for example, non-specific example. But I had a point that I was going to make with it. Damn it, you're really taking me off the rails with these. I guess I guess the main point would have been, I think that you'll be okay for the most part, just living in society. I swear, when it comes back to me, it's going to hit me like a truck. Last thing I have is that I have a couple of questions from the mortals that would like to ask you a few things if you would allow them your witchiness.
Of course, since you've been so graceful and haven't abused the knowledge you have been given, I shall let it be.
I haven't abused it yet, mind you. We still have. We'll see what happens. I will say, you've taught me many a good thing that I could use for later, for sure.
I'm gonna be the new expert on witches.
Yeah, I'm gonna lead the second Salemers, the ones that are just like, my fellow humans, I have spoken among them. They were foolish enough to give me their weaknesses. We gotta break out the horror movies. We gotta break out the dark. They are buoyant. They've told me this. We gotta throw them all in the ocean. Sink any that swim.
If I become the downfall of which kind, that will be non-optimal is the way I'll put it.
Yeah, plausible deniability. They don't have to know that it was you. For what it's worth, for your help, you'll be the last one to feel my wrath.
Say, you may say that, but aren't you actively interviewing me to post a public, viewing for everyone to see? I think it may get a little bit hard whenever everyone's like, "Oh yeah, it wasn't you? Then what is this?" And they point to a giant screen, and it's just the entire interview full length.
At that point, pray to like the wireless god deities to make sure that the Wi-Fi goes out before the video gets shown. I don't know.
Yeah, the ISP gods. I'll have to pray to them, make them my saving grace in my one time of need, when I truly needed them most.
God, here I am trying to help you, and I was going to lead a crusade against witches too. It's such the duality of man. Damn it, humans are complicated.
Weird with your emotions and your feelings. I say like I don't have them. I do. A lot of your magics are gonna be powered by emotions. Emotions make the magic stronger. But
so that's
y'all are just weird.
No, I can imagine myself like a Dragon Ball character. The angrier I get, the more powerful I become. Yes.
I'm just gonna. Your hair gets longer, turns yellow, of course. Maybe like in Witch's case, it turns like a deeper shade of black, because the whole like the stereotypical like witches in their black colors. So
I'm a goth Super Saiyan. Thank you. No, I was about to say, if I actually did like gain muscle and my hair turned blonde, I might be an entirely different creature than a human, or even a witch for that matter. I don't think that'd be magic. I think that's just me being a Saiyan. Oh my god. I might have discovered latent abilities. We'll get to that one later. I had some questions from the mortals that I was going to ask you. We keep getting sidetracked. So first question that I got is from That Demon Thing. They say, I've heard that witches' hair is equal to their power level. Is this true?
We were just talking about that. No.
Yeah, no. Coinky.
As far as I know, at least my magic isn't. Magic I don't think has a direct correlation to hair length and whatnot. I could be wrong. There's a lot of different kinds of witches out there. There might be some sort of enchantment a witch has on, or some sort of ritual they perform to make their power a little bit tied to the length of their hair, but it's not me. Plus, I also feel like that'd be a little bit scary. Well, someone gets a little bit too close to your hair with your scissors, and oops, there goes your magical power.
Oh, man. I have one of my best friends. Witches are his fetish. Isn't the nicest way to put it, but like he really likes witches, but he also likes long dark hair. But yes, to the point where like scissors are the kryptonite here. I'm gonna get strangled for sure.
Well, for that friend, hello friend, I am a witch. Hi, nice to see you.
I should have asked him if he wanted to come to jump on the interview to ask you a few questions himself.
If the way you described it is accurate, maybe it's for the best.
No, he's actually a really tame guy. He's a lot more tame than I'm making him out to be. I'm more of a maid uniform kind of guy, but we all have our interests. We do. I am not without my own interests, although while this may be an interview, those are not things I am at liberty to discuss at this time. Yeah, you revealed something about long hair earlier, so not to worry. I can assess. I can make some educated guesses. Regardless, back to the questions. Wait, what was that?
I was just gonna say. I mean, I can defend myself on that one. Guys with long hair are cute. Guys with long hair are like hot. I think I'm allowed to say that. That's
100%.
This is my message out to all the guys. You should try out long hair. Just make sure you know how to take care of it. There's plenty of ways to look it up. Take care of that long hair. And if the people out there are anything like me, that's a kryptonite right there. That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, I will say this. So Orlando Bloom, back from Pirates of the Caribbean, I brought this earlier. He was my inspiration for getting my long hair. He's also my man crush. But anyway, sorry to derail you, demon thing, but he also had another part of his question. He was wondering if body hair counted.
I don't guess so. I mean, I'm not particularly hairy, so I wouldn't assume so. Maybe. I mean, maybe it's the same thing like the other witches. Like how, you know, maybe there's a witch out there that their long hair has something to do with it. But for me in particular, no, not how I work. I am a fairly hairless creature besides what's on my head.
Yeah, so sorry, demon thing. I don't know if like having long armpit hair equates to your magic power, but if that is the case and you happen to do spells better than the average witch, give me a call, because that is a top dollar power that I'd like to have a part of my team. Anyway, next question we have from Cringe Incarnate. It says, or they ask, would she mutter spells if she got drunk, which I think refers to you. How dangerous is that? So I guess a better way to phrase that would be like, when you get drunk, do you mutter spells?
To an extent, yeah. Just sort of, you know, you make some mistakes here and there. You let a couple things slide while you might be partaking in certain things. The level of dangerousness, I'd say it's. I feel like I keep saying this, but I'd say it's up to the witch. We're all very different. Me, for example, I'm a little mischievous, but not directly evil. So I might turn you a different color, or, you know, I might turn you into a little animal for a few seconds or whatnot. But I'm not gonna like blow you up or anything. No instant death magic for you. Just from a few substances. Now, if you were to make a witch who is under substances of different kinds a little bit angry, that might be quite dangerous. So maybe don't do that, because then the curses might start going out a little bit more willy-nilly than they normally would.
That doesn't sound too dangerous. It sounds like the world's best party trick is what it sounds like. You're drunk and you turn somebody red versus like turning them into a squirrel for a few seconds. Oh, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Make them levitate off the ground for a little bit. Show everyone your. Well, no, you can't use the flying broom. You gotta let someone have your broom whenever you're drinking. can't drink and fly, you know.
We have a question from Saluv, who asks, "Can you make tea similar to Echidna from ReZero?" Do you know that reference, or should I shield you from the from what that means?
I do know that reference. You know what? Full send? Sure, why not? Why not? Why not, dude? Full send, why not?
No fair. If he gets some, I want some.
Oh my god. Oh, jeez.
Wait, hold on. Can I put in like an order for it? Can I get like one for myself and one for my friend as well?
The same friend from earlier. Not taking commissions at the moment. Not publicly traded. Oh god. Just because it is possible. Just because it is possible does not mean that it will currently be something that is happening.
Damn it.
You're really just you're doing the whole what is it, Yu-Gi-Oh, the it should have been me, not him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is where you start to see the professionalism start to slide off the mask. the start where we're all nervous to begin with, and then like some of the the horny side starts to come out. No, keep it under wraps. I'm nearly done. I'm nearly done with the interview. I can.
Oh, you're all good. You're all good.
All right. Next up, we got a question from. All right, we got one from Jackson Serbaugh, who asks, "Do they melt when you hit them with water?" Which you answered that one earlier, right? If you get hit with water, you'll be fine.
Yeah, you'll be fine. It's just like how we were talking about buoyancy. Just because. Oh well, no, I neither confirmed nor denied whether that trick worked. But if that trick were to theoretically work or not work, then if you just melted when you got hit by water, things wouldn't even be possible to try. Yeah.
Yeah, Jackson, think of it this way. If she did melt, she wouldn't be able to make the body fluid tea from earlier. So,
oh my god!
Yeah, try to put that together.
that does genuinely, like, totally derailing the conversation again, though. Does that just mean that, like, the Wicked Witch of the West and the Wizard of Oz, that means she just, like, doesn't have, like, any kind of, like, bodily fluid, like saliva, sweat, anything?
I guess she can't, or it kills her. Like, I don't know necessarily if she eats or how her body works, but I imagine just magic is just the short fix for all of that. If she's hungry, she just like waves the wand, like, oh, there we go, chicken in my stomach now. Now I'm hungry, or now I'm full.
Because it's like you know, humans, you need water. The humans, they need the water. So if a witch were to melt, then they wouldn't be able to drink water. They wouldn't be able to sweat or have saliva. They wouldn't be able to have, like, moisture that comes out of, like, meat that you would eat and whatnot. This is, you know, like how
existence, if I've ever heard one, for sure.
Yeah, no juicy steaks or anything. Not possible. Because that's all got water. That, like, sure, it's mainly, like, not all water, but it's got water in it.
I've never thought of the biology up to this point, because, like, it always has just been magic. But I guess if I were to put some science to it, maybe the inside of the body is okay. It's just the outside. If it's hit with water, it just disintegrates like a reverse cell. I'm saying this like the Wizard of Oz really thought of the world building when they were thinking of just like throwing water at a witch to make it melt. I don't think that they thought that hard. I think that's just us being nerds. But
I don't think the world building was important when it came to the specifics of it.
No, of course not. In fact, I'm pretty sure she was green because, like, color television was a thing, so we wanted to change the skin color just to make it pop.
I didn't know that.
That should be the real
really
science behind it. That's where the real magic is. Movies. But yeah, witches, they're fine. They're fine when you hit them with water, for the most part, it seems. Maybe it depends on the witch. Next up, we have a question from Stupid Seraphim, who asks, what side effects are there to casting too many spells, if there are any?
Well, I did mention this a little bit earlier, but, you know, you got your reserves of magic. You got the magic flowing in the world around you. If you sort of deplete that, then it's going to be the same thing as before. You know, you work out your muscles, you use too much of them, and then suddenly, you know, you worked out your muscles and your legs too much, now you can't walk. So now you're just laying on the ground.
So is it sort of like Megamine from Konosuba, where she casts
exactly
a spell and then she just passes out because she used it all?
Exactly. I have maybe cast a spell or two that has just left me laying on the ground a bit depleted and motionless and dead. That's just, you know.
What did you do?
Can't talk about that. Very powerful magics. You know, I've told you. I'd told you before. Different spells of different strength require different amounts of magic. I didn't say I harmed anyone in particular, but maybe I just tried something out so I could.
I'm asking what
just
crime
in
you
case.
committed to make you pass out. What did you do? So Seraphim also asks, what's the most horrid spell you can cast?
Ooh,
One you
So,
reserve for like the
ooh,
baddiest of baddies.
I have a few curses that I only put upon the worst of the worst.
All right,
One
I'll
that's
give you a scenario. Say I like Clockwork Orange styled you to like watch Hereditary and like all the horror movies in the dark, no less, like no light whatsoever. I did that to you. What exactly would you curse me with?
ooh. See, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad, but like, things could be worse. So I'm thinking maybe I curse you with exceedingly bad luck for the next few months. Maybe, lose a couple $1,000 in the stock market. Maybe, you can't quite get that gotcha pull that you were really going for.
You witch, take it back now. Take it back.
But that while that is definitely something that warrants a curse. It's not that bad, but if we're talking like something that really makes me mad, I've got one that I quite like is just a curse of making everything that you eat turn sour and expired. So you go to like eat a steak, it's dry and cold and out of date. You go to drink some milk, it's curdled. You go to like eat like an orange, it's got a big old moldy spot on it. Like that type of thing.
Oh, that's
one of my.
That's pretty horrid. Is that the worst one you can do?
See, like, there are worse things than death. Which is why the instant death magic isn't like the worst thing that you can do. Like the making the moldy thing. You could also just turn someone into an animal forever. There may have been potentially an ex from the past that I may have turned into a newt because they may have, done a few things they shouldn't have, and so turned him into a newt, and he sits on my shelf in a little jar. I just kind of keep him there, and so one day
him.
Yeah, he's still just sitting up there. He's like sitting in a little jar over there. He just gets to sit there and watch. I give him a fly every now and again.
All right, note to my audience: this is why you wouldn't want to date a witch. Just throwing that out there. just for public information. As for the namesake of the video that I release when the time comes.
Just like don't cheat on the witch. Don't like make her too angry. Don't forget the anniversary, and like you're all good. But just if you do something like that, don't let the witch find out, or you might get turned into a newt and put in a jar.
I'll take one of the minor inconveniencing curses, please. Like, I'll take like the wet puddle with socks on curse. I'll take the constantly forget everything curse. Or actually, no, that one sucks royally. I don't want that. I'll take the you know what? The worst curse I could think of, the iPhone charger that never works curse.
Ooh, that's evil. That's so fucked up. That's fucked up.
I can't wait to learn that one on my worst enemies.
Yeah, that's anytime you go to charge it, and it extends beyond iPhones. Anything that you go to charge, you go to plug any sort of charger in, doesn't work anymore. If you have something that works with batteries, kiss it goodbye. It's not gonna work.
Yeah, lo and behold, Seraphim, you don't want to mess with this one for sure. Witches can do some pretty nasty things to you, it seems. If you ever want your computer to work the way that it should, don't piss her off, or any witch for that matter. Next question I've got is from Haunted Pixel, who asks, what is the difference between a wizard and a witch? Is there like one to your mind that makes them different? Are they the same thing?
I would say that for the most part, at least in depictions of media, I didn't write the rule book on witches, but gathering from what it can tell, or from what I can tell, From your world, it seems like witches for the most part are just, women. But I don't think that necessarily excludes. I think they're just like different terms, There's like warlocks and wizards and like sorcerers. There's a lot of overlapping terms. But I would say that witch pretty much just means like a certain kind of magical woman in particular.
Agree with that for the most part. Yeah, and then like witches for the most part women. Wizards, maybe gender neutral, because I'm thinking stuff like, there's an old show that we used to watch called Wizards of Waverly Place, like that was gender neutral. Harry Potter, obviously. That's the other thing. People would probably persecute you for that. If anything, people would hate you for hating Harry Potter more than they'd hate you for being a witch. That's probably how that would work. But yeah, Harry Potter, another gender neutral wizard world.
Yeah. Witches and humans do have a lot of similarities in general, at least on their emotions and their morality and so on and so forth. It's just, we can do some things that humans can't exactly.
Yeah, like be more buoyant.
Yeah, that's the big one. We both go down on the Titanic. I think I'm gonna have a little bit easier of a time surviving than you will.
If we both go down on the Titanic, I am taking that door. You are floating. Your ass is floating in the water.
That's what the buoyancy is for. It's actually it's a natural it's like an evolutionary trait type thing. How like animals gain survival instincts and adaptations throughout their existence. It's just like that. The witches who could float better survive.
It's Darwinism at work.
Yeah. It's witches are actually the golden proof of science in front of you. Little did you know.
Were the ones that survived. I'm done. Oh my god. Damn it, you derailed me again. Well, that was the final question that I have here. So with that in mind, I guess thank you for being a part of the interview. This has been fun. I am so glad that I haven't like coughed up blood or turned into a toad or like I'm losing my limbs or anything like that, which means that I think that I've done a good job from my end. Before we go, is there anything that you'd like to plug? Like your somebody for your model or like your socials, anything like that?
Yeah. I do have a Twitch channel, obviously, that I stream on, twitch.tv/Zmooshie. I stream a lot, like every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are my biggest days, and then usually a Friday and a Sunday in there, a Friday and a Sunday scattered in there as well. Play a lot of fighting games like Guilty Gear and Grand Blue Fantasy. Play a lot of horror games like Mortuary Assistant and Alien Isolation. I like my RPGs too. I like my Souls games. And then beyond that, if you do like art, I do have two artists I can recommend. Just because you brought it up, something about models. Yuki Making Art is an amazing artist, and another one is Autumn is a Plague. Both of them are amazing. They've made a lot of art for me and a lot of other stuff. Couple, I guess other things I might want to plug. Couple streamer friends, Inferno Chim, Toby Bento Box, that sort of thing.
I think she also has a new model coming out, so if you watch her
yeah,
you can see something like that.
That's what you meant by model. I misinterpreted what you meant by model. I'm a little bit stupid. That is something you will
stupid and
realize
knows magic.
If you check
what
out
a combination for a witch. Dear God, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I am very ditzy. I'm a very ditzy witch. I hope I have done a good job of answering your witchy type questions, and I hope I haven't deterred too many people from wanting to date their preferred witch. If you go for it, sport, go for it. So just don't make her mad.
No, there's like a running joke with my channel where no matter what I say to convince them, they will always like stay true to their beliefs, just like, nah, I will still date this monster girl. But those, honest opinion, they are the strongest brethren that I could have ever hoped to ask for as far as fans go. Anybody who still sticks it out for their preferred girl, they're okay in my book.
They're the real soldiers.
They're the real heroes. They're the real antagonists, so to speak. Oh yeah, that's right. And hypothetically, if you do want to see Zmooshie, just look up like witch on Twitch, and apparently that shows up as well. So, okay, guys, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, and I am by no means exaggerating here. Zmooshie is 100% magic. Back when I was doing the recording for the video, I actually lost basically all of it, with the exception of maybe a half an hour of footage. But she somehow got the rest of it recorded. Like, all the stuff that I was missing, and that was how I was able to put the interview together. If it weren't for that, there would not be an interview for this video, which would have been destructive to the mind, but she was still able to make that happen. So I am 100% convinced that she is magic. Her spells work. You need to go to her for advice on anything, like financial advice, magic potions, disputes with friends, arguments. Just go to her. This is usually around the point in the video where I give you my personal thoughts about whether or not I date the witch. Absolutely. Yes, I want to date a witch because I think it would be fun, so long as she doesn't punish me for miscellaneous bad things that I do. If you know me personally, I am not capable of surviving in the wild because I am prone to mistakes and accidents. It is incredible how I have managed to survive this long, so forbid I find a witch that is into me but is also going to train me to act better. I will never survive. But let's say she's more of a Nico from Witch Watch, and she does spells that give us some miscellaneous adventures that put us in harm's way. I'm still not making it out of that alive. My soul is piecing out to the great beyond before... I have never broken a bone in my life, so I know for a fact that my soul is piecing out to the great beyond before you even get me to the hospital room. Let alone unexplainable magic powers that can cause me physical and mental harm. Beyond that, all of the fun stuff, the wholesome stuff you can do with witches, like sitting on a broomstick together and watching the fireworks from a distance, that would be so romantic and cute. That would almost make it worth it. I got it. Witnessing all the stadium events and concerts on a broomstick from up on high so that way we don't have to pay tickets. Brilliant. You know, unless we're both like advanced level dumbasses and we end up flying into a military base or something. But then there's the big question, the one that we've been missing all this time. Is there a witch version of the Kama Sutra? If there is one, just one question, just one more. Is there a spell to make it bigger? Zmooshie did mention that I could learn spells myself, although I would feel bad if I had to sacrifice an entire goat to... Well, I'd say that's just about everything that I have for witches. Thanks again for Zmooshie for coming on. Her links will be in the description below. Thanks to you guys for watching. If you are watching this far into the video, it really means a lot that you managed to stick with me and still deal with my wacky antics. This one did take a little bit longer to make than I would have thought. Sorry about that. I kind of ran into a bit of a writer's block, but I was able to get over it, ironically, after watching Kiki's Delivery Service, because really any Ghibli movie is a good just sit down and think about what you're doing kind of flick. Seriously, that whole thing about stepping away from something for a while and then coming back to it later with a new creative perspective, it really does help. Because I've discovered the last thing that I want to do for these videos is to rush them out. I don't want to push the creative process in fear of making something that I'm not proud of. The last thing I want to do is give any girl a subpar video, because I am not going to take away that antagonist guarantee that every monster girl gets their due representation. Be on the lookout for more videos in the future. Really excited about this next one. But anyway, that's all I got for you. Sayonara, suckers. Yes, ma'am.